Over the past 6 months, I felt like I'm a little bit disconnected from the person that I really want to be. I feel like I've just been a little bit off, if that makes sense, and I really attribute that to just not really having a full understanding of where I'm at today and where I want to be tomorrow. After a lot of reflecting, I've deduced that the reason behind this is in 2023, I really achieved everything that I had set out to achieve when I first started on my business journey 7 years ago, and when I first started down this whole self-improvement, personal finance journey, the better part of a decade ago. I'm really just at a place where I have everything that I ever wanted, and I have the ability to pretty much do whatever I want whenever I want. So what's next? This is a question that I've really been trying to answer over the past 6 months. I feel like I'm finally getting close to being able to answer that question, and so that I can carry this momentum into the next 12 months, I've carefully selected a couple of apps that I can use on my iPad to make sure that I'm staying disciplined every single day and moving towards these new goals that I set for myself. My channel is really designed to be of service to all of you, so if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I don't have an iPad, that's totally fine. I picked apps and systems that you can use on any mobile device and any desktop computer with just a web browser as well. For me personally, I'm really using my iPad Pro for one reason, and that's because my iPad is really a sacred space where nothing can really distract me there. It's not really efficient for me to do my work, so I really find that when I'm using my iPad, it can really just all be about me and being focused on my own personal development. The first tool that I'm using to get my life together with my iPad is going to be a journal that I've created with the Notion app. A commitment that I'm getting back to this year is journaling. When I look back on the last 10 years of my journey and I think about the biggest periods that I've seen in terms of growth, they all have one thing in common, and that's that I had a journal practice during those periods. I like to focus on a few core areas when I journal. Number one is intention. What am I working towards and why? Number two is reflection. So at the end of the day, how am I doing as I work towards those goals and how are those things making me feel? And number three is practicing gratitude, being grateful for all of the challenges and successes that come my way, and most importantly, being grateful for the present moment. I was really excited for Apple to release their journaling app, which was supposed to come with the iOS 17 release and actually did come later, but it really fell flat in my opinion. It's only on iPhone, there's no iPad app, there's no Mac app, there's no browser app, and for these reasons, it's just not really feasible for me to use it all. I really don't plan on doing any form of long form journaling just on my phone. So because of this, for journaling, I'm going to be either using my Notion journal template that I created or the Day One application. I'm leaning towards the Notion template because I was able to recreate a template that maps to my favorite form of physical journaling, the Best Self Journal. I used to actually carry a physical copy of the Best Self Journal around with me everywhere that I went, and I would journal physically in that journal every single day. Day One is another great application that I know a lot of other people use, but for me personally, I'm going to wait around to see if Apple makes better updates to their own journal app, which would be free to use with the iOS ecosystem. And if they deliver on a better experience, I think that's really going to mitigate my need for Day One. For my whole financial picture, I'm going to be using the Monarch Finance app. As my income has gone up and I've achieved every financial box that I really sought to achieve when I started my business and started my personal finance journey, I feel like I've become somewhat detached from where my money is actually going and really just living with intention behind every dollar that I spend. I find that often I'm really not thinking about what I'm spending money on. I'm buying things just to buy things, and that's really not the way that I like to be with money. And I really just want to get back to an intentional practice behind where my money's going and having full visibility. I think that part of why this has happened over the last 6 months or so as well is the app that I've always used for the last decade to manage my finances and budgets, Mint.com, recently announced that they're actually shutting down the app, and they actually stopped making any real updates to it about 6 months ago, and it really just got hard to use. I was really excited that a buddy of mine recommended Monarch Money, and I recently signed up for it, and I have to say I'm loving the experience so far. I added all my personal accounts, my checking, my savings, my investment accounts, my crypto, all of my retirement accounts, my mortgage, and I'm really blown away by the control that instantly became available with the Monarch application. I didn't really need to configure everything that I needed to configure when I first set up Mint.com, and I think that this is an app that anybody watching this video can make a lot of use out of. It's really the money app that I always wanted, where it gives you full visibility to all of your categories, it automatically maps to all of them, and it gives you some really nice reporting on your spending, and it compares every category to previous months. A big goal of mine for the next 12 months is to really just dispense with a lot of frivolous spending. I want to start living with more intention, and part of that really starts with understanding what I'm spending my money on and why I'm spending my money on those things, and looking for areas in my life where I can increase efficiency, reduce stress, and just live with more intention behind what I'm doing. If you want to check out Monarch Money yourself, check out the description down below. I'll provide a link that'll give you a full 30-day trial instead of just the usual 7-day trial. The third way that I'm using my iPad Pro this year to get my life in order is with habit tracking, and for this I'm also using the Notion application with a custom template that I created. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I put a lot of importance importance on habits and systems. There are some habits that I've really spent a lot of time building over the last couple months, and I want to make sure that I'm sustaining those into the new year and beyond. I've dabbled with pretty much every habit tracker that you can possibly imagine. If you follow me on Instagram, which you definitely should, I've always been super transparent about posting these to my Insta stories, and I've never been able to find one that offers the right combination of features, a nice interface, and it doesn't cost, $15, $20 per month, which I personally just think is ridiculous for just a habit tracker. To solve for this, I built a habit tracker completely custom in the Notion application that enables me to track all of my habits on a daily basis, automatically reminds me to do so, and then gamifies and visualizes the entire process. I've been using this for the past 6 months, and I have yet to find a better experience in any of the paid habit trackers that I've ever used that does everything that I'm able to do with this Notion template and really makes it look as good. If you're interested in using the Notion template that I created, you can check that out in the description down below. The nice thing about it is that it both combines the habit tracking elements that I'm talking about, as well as those daily journals all in one slick interface, which you can use with a completely free Notion account to get started. The fourth way that I'm using my iPad to get my life together this year is with a weekly reset, and for this, I'm using the native Apple Reminders application. If your environment's not organized and in order, it's going to be very difficult to maintain any sort of sustained, organized mindset. A few months ago, my fiance and I put pen to paper and decided to break up all of the chores that we have to do around our home to keep it looking good, to keep it nice and neat in a place that we really want to live and can perform at our best. And we broke it into daily tasks that we need to do. Sunday's our big reset day where we do all of the deep cleaning for the week, but Monday through Friday, there's little things that we do just to keep things looking good and to make sure that throughout the whole week, even though it's not a big reset, everything's in order and it's a nice place to live. For this, we use the free Apple Reminders app that's on desktop, it's on iPad, it's on iPhone, and we're able to manage this on a recurring list that automatically resets as soon as the tasks are done for the next week. Since we both have very different approaches to productivity and the tech that we use, we needed to have something that was free, could be used by both of us seamlessly, and could be shared between our different devices, and was super easy to adopt and that we might have already been using. All we did was list out the different tasks, group them into different days that would make sense for the day of the week to do them, and then created recurring days and tasks in the Reminders app. We mark the task complete on the day that we do them, and then it automatically creates a recurrence for the following week, and a reminder notification shows up when it's time to do those tasks, so we always remember to do them. The fifth way that I'm using the iPad to get my life together this year is with a YouTube and general content creation template. At the start of this year, I first started trying to post to this channel consistently, and in September of 2022, my business partner and I also got on a weekly cadence for our Two Guys Build a Biz YouTube channel, which is all about agency and business, and we started making uploads there every single week. This is a tremendous amount of work, and while I love posting every single week and creating these videos for all of you, it's just a lot to manage. I actually took a step away from this channel after posting fairly consistently at the start of the year just to reassess and to kind of go back to the drawing board on how I could create consistency to have a sustainable process of getting a video out every single week. What I created was a Notion template that actually enables me to manage the entire creation process from idea to ideation to scripting to editing to publishing. It operates as a sort of vision board where I can visually see all of the different ideas that I've looked at for inspiration or topics that I think could be good topics for me to talk about with my own spin. And before I had this, my entire ideation process was just a complete mess. To be honest, I didn't really know exactly where I was going with this channel at the time and where the line in the sand was between topics that I would talk about on this channel, topics that I would talk about on my other YouTube channel. Whether you're looking to start a YouTube channel this year, or whether you're just posting Instagram Reels, TikToks, and short form content and just want to have a better, more organized strategy around what exactly it is that you're going to be posting from a content perspective, I would highly recommend Notion for this and their database feature, which offers the ability to visualize all of these different ideas in all sorts of different ways. If you are a content creator and you want to steal my process, this template is available in the description down below. Go ahead and grab that and put it to work for yourself. Are you an iPad user? What are some of your favorite applications? I'm always looking for more, so let me know in the description down below. And let me know if you're going to use any of these or if you found them useful. Don't forget that in the description down below, I've got a bunch of links, including a link to my course where I teach you how to start, grow, and scale a social media marketing agency, which is the type of business that I run that pays for everything that I do. Go ahead and check that out. That's it for this video. Again, those links are down below. And if you're looking for a video to watch after this one, check out this video right here where I talk about how I stay productive for 97% of every day. I'll see you over there.